I'm super excited to announce this project that I've been working on. It came out of a need where I felt really alone. It was the loneliest time of my life when I got diagnosed with breast cancer. The first question I asked my oncologist was, who have you treated that has my exact diagnosis? She couldn't find anyone. This is why I created this platform called Diagnosis Anonymous. Diagnosis Anonymous connects people who are going through cancer, newly diagnosed people, to mentors, people who have been down that same path. Go to diagnosisanonymous.com and join our waitlist to get matched to your mentor. You'll fill out a quick, easy form. You will get notified when you have a match. diagnosisanonymous.com. Thank you. Welcome to Boobalicious. This podcast is about navigating life as a midlife woman. Your health, your body, your identity, and everything that shifts along the way.
From hormones to healing, including life during and after cancer, we're having the conversation no one prepares you for.
I'm Chris, a mom of 2 and a breast cancer survivor.
And I'm in perimenopause.
And we're figuring it out right alongside you.
I'm Jenni, a physical therapist specializing in women's health. Join us and subscribe. I want to kind of bring up more of the muscles aside from the pelvic floor, right? So you had your foot pain and your ankle. I had my shoulder. Because we have less estrogen, like our muscles are less happy. I know I would say to patients, if you are exercising, you're doing something and you feel like, that kind of hurts, don't just ignore it forever. Like kind of hang out with it. See if it seems like that week it's only getting worse, is not getting better. Ask for help, or maybe in your 20s, you could just sort of work through it and it would resolve itself. You know, give it a little bit of support. What are some other tips that you give people to help them exercise with their menopausal bodies?
Yeah, no, I mean, those are great questions. Like in general, you still want to do strength training and cardio pretty much at the same rate, like across the board that we did when we were younger. I think we used to say like, oh, if you're older, like you don't have to exercise as much or anything. We know that the intensity should be pretty much the same. Yeah, like even as like when you get older, you should be still, if you can, doing like 70 to 85% of your max heart rate, which is obviously lower at this point for cardio, or again, like if it's doing like high intensity. And then for strength training, still doing like 2 to 3 times a week. But you're right, it might take a little bit longer in terms of like healing time. So again, when you're doing all of this, definitely do progressive loading, not going hardcore maybe as much anymore.
So maybe even starting like less than you think you can, right? Because we all have that exercise ego that's like, well, I used to lift blah, 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 or everyone else in the gym is lifting such and such, so should I.
Well, I think there's a narrative that the older you get, the harder you have to work out, the more you have to do, because your body doesn't respond as quick to like, remember we used to like look at a salad and lose weight, right? Now it's like you have to eat it. Yeah. Now we have to eat it 7 days a week. Yeah. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah. So, I mean, definitely like keeping all of that in mind, staying hydrated. I think there's so much more we know too. It's not just about like exercising correctly, but what are you doing outside of exercise? Like, your sleep? How is your nutrition? How is your fluid intake? You know, so I think too, it's not just looking at how much you're exercising or the level of intensity and what you're doing, but like, what are you doing outside of that as well to like help benefit you?
I think people are looking for like, I just had this conversation with my son. We were talking about meditation and he's like, oh, it doesn't help. It doesn't, like sometimes it does. I'm like, unfortunately, I think we live in such a society with all the social media and everything where we want like quick fixes.
We do. Instant results.
Yeah. Instant results. And because of all that fast-paced stuff on that end, it's got to be part of our daily activity. Like it's something that every day you really have to be accountable for because it just leaves after. Sometimes I go and I do yoga, and I was telling this to my son, Waylon, I was like, I'll go and do yoga and I meditate at the end, and that's where I pray and get centered, and that's the only place where the noise stops, really. And sometimes it lasts for, a half a day, sometimes a whole day, sometimes an hour after class. So it's not nothing's one and done anymore, especially because of the universe we live in now.
Yeah.
I think the nail on the head with that, Chris. And also, this is like the hardest part of being a physical therapist is I feel like we are often the ones who are also saying that to people, like that it's not going to be a quick fix, and rehab takes time. So we're not everybody's favorite practitioner, that's for sure.
Right, because they love it when the doctor just gives them an injection and now the pain is gone, but like nothing has changed.
And that never works. I've had friends with neck and back issues, and they just don't want to keep on going to the PT. And I feel like if you have that ailment, be with the PT until you can get back to the workouts to build the muscle to support that. Because I know that for me, when I don't have the muscle and I'm not working out, that I am in pain. Like my shoulder, I woke up today and I'm like, I haven't worked out for like a few weeks.
Your frozen shoulder.
I got a frozen shoulder. Shoulder. I put up my Jersey accent.
You do a cortisone shot yourself or anything for it?
No, never. Because I've just seen it not work for people. So for me, I'll like do yoga to like start getting some like the joint movement and fluid and all that. And then I'll start peppering in like heavier workouts after I'm comfortable and building a little strength there. So I just kind of build slowly instead of like going all balls to the wall like I used to,
That's a great, because frozen shoulder really is one of the ones that does slow us down because the healing process takes so long. I mean, it can take years for it to get better, even with injections, even with PT. So I think it is a way that we really do have to almost like pause and be like, there is no quick fix necessarily for it, It goes through these phases. And I even tell patients like, it's going to go through its freezing phase. It's going to go through its frozen and thawing phase. This is just the cycle it's going to go through.
Do you guys feel that for a frozen shoulder, stretching and keeping it, does that help it at all?
I feel like, May, tell me your thoughts too. I feel like there's two types of frozen shoulder. There's one, like we'll just sort of say common, they're like, oh, my shoulder's frozen. But then there's like a textbook one. And the textbook one is what May was just describing, like the different stages. And I personally don't think the stretching makes too much of a difference in that type. I don't know. What do you think, May, about?
Because it's the capsule itself that right. There's actual tissue changes that have happened to it. But that being said, I think if you're doing still do stuff that feels good. So if certain stuff you feel good, it's not going to hurt you. And I know you too, Jenni, from back in the day in physical therapy, that was one of the diagnoses we used to get where they're like, you can crank, go for it, just
pull on that thing, sit on it. Yeah.
Is that range better? People would be crying. It was, and then we learned especially what we know now with pain and just how we experience pain. That was not the right thing to do. And you could say this with all diagnosis related to perimenopause or menopause as well. And you're like, that was not the right call at the time. And, we are learning and growing, or there's so much more we could do to help these people. But now we know that let pain kind of be your guide with that one. So it's not like a no pain, no gain situation with frozen shoulder, be gentle with it, but do the exercise, still be active, get the blood flow, do what you
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, just to sum up with that, I like that phrase. Let's throw out no pain, no gain in general, I think. For us, it doesn't really,
No, that's so 80s.
It's so 80s.
Yeah, no, I don't think we do that anymore. But let me ask you this. What do you guys think about red light therapy on it? A lot of people are they're going to either the old sun tanning booths, and they're or they have it at home, like a pad that they put on it. Does that help frozen shoulder at all? Or anything we're talking about? Should we put it on our vagina, May?
Actually, great that you bring that up because there are red light therapy wands for your vagina. I don't know.
I think there's even underwear. I think I saw something that somewhat, I mean, it's a great invention. If it doesn't exist, we need to do it.
Yeah, that would be great. I mean, there is, I don't know if you've seen, I think it's Halle Berry who's been advertising it a lot. It's called Joy Locks. Have you heard of that one at all?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Red light therapy wand, and it is for your pelvic floor, and you use it internally to help, same thing, to like stimulate, the muscles, stimulate blood flow, help to decrease inflammation. So red light therapy I'm a fan myself. I have
Me too.
red light therapy things at home. Like I have a panel and I have like a little brick thing that I can do. There is mixed reviews on it, I will say, because it really depends on the product that you've gotten. Like,
Yeah.
That stresses me out is as a practitioner and or a consumer, like either way, it's hard to know, like, I never remember what frequencies are the important frequencies.
right.
And then the dosing, like how often you're supposed to do it and for how long so that it actually makes a difference.
Right.
You know what? That feels
Great.
like a crapshoot.
But you know what's great, speaking of the fast paced, what we're living in, is you can compare and contrast on ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And I did that to find like the highest one with the least time and the thing and the money, like you can put, and they'll literally put a graph of the different highest ranking ones.
And
And
a video too of a guy who he actually does, he like sees what the actual infrared, like what wavelength is, and then he can actually test it to see if that's the true wavelength that's coming out.
Oh, like, so if it's doing what it says it's doing or emitting. Yeah.
Exactly.
you know which one I like, but I have it for my face. My girlfriend from New York referred it to me, and I feel like I've noticed a difference already, but it's the Joves, Jovs. Yeah, it seems to, it's like that mass. It's a little claustrophobic, like, because there's like just holes where your mouth, like tiny little, but I don't know. I like it, but I don't know. I did a little my ChatGPT research on it, and it said it was stronger than the one I had, so I went for it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
There is, like, I don't know if you remember, Jenny, like even in the clinic we used to work at, we had laser therapy there we would use for pain and inflammation of those joints. So yeah, definitely a fan of it. I do think the market is inundated right now. So it's like,
So much. And it's really, again, not a one and done thing. The research I've done, I'm tangled here. The research I've done is consistency. It's not about trying to do a double session in it. It's about doing it like 3 times a week and being, that's when you start seeing stuff. So, yeah.
I wanted to also ask you, May, since you are a Pilates practitioner, anyone who is middle-aged thinking, maybe, Pilates is for me. Can we talk a little bit about Pilates? Like why someone should do it, anyone who shouldn't do it, a little bit about it. If anyone out there doesn't know, I don't know if we're reaching Mars with this, and most people on Mars have never heard Pilates, but
yeah, I mean, Pilates is, I feel so I've been certified since like 2012 now, I guess. So what is that, like almost 15 years, 14 years at this point? And I don't know if like also living in Los Angeles, it's like you can't go 1 block without seeing like a Pilates studio.
correct.
So I feel like we're pretty lucky. But yeah, I think it is more from what I've seen, like catching on a lot more, getting more popular, which I think is great. Know that there are different classes and different types of sessions. Just like there are so many yoga classes right now. You can do like your hot yoga or one that's like a faster flow or, more like nidra. So the same thing with Pilates classes too. Definitely be careful in the ones that you pick if it's going to be like more high intensity or not. The Pilates reformer was never actually copyrighted. Fun fact from Joseph Pilates. So that's why you're seeing, you see like a megaformer and you see like things with like attachments.
And that megaformer is totally different than
like what's like a more classic style Pilates. So there's so many different types of Pilates.
Pilates is great. Yeah.
Yeah. I always recommend, especially if you're going to do the reformer, which is the one with that moving platform and it has resistance, definitely do like a couple of private sessions if you can. One, because it helps to, like you understand what the exercises are when they're mentioning it, and you can kind of see what your pace would be like or what your level would be like. So starting there is really good. There are mat classes as well. So if you go to like gyms, a lot of times you'll have more of a mat class, which don't knock it, by the way. Mat classes using your body weight can be really, really good as well and really hard. And so it kind of just depends on like what you're looking for, like a slower pace one or a faster pace class. And then going from there too with like your fitness level.
in some reasons. I mean, the nice thing about Pilates is the way it has sometimes cardio aspects. Like you can get kind of cardio on the reformer a little bit, but
I'm leaving for a second to go pee. How funny is that? We're talking about, but yes, it's all about the form on Pilates. I feel like it's very important.
okay, I'll be back. Great. But what I was going to say is I like that Pilates has the stretching with the strengthening. Like there's both.
Yeah.
Like, if you're someone who doesn't like to put the time into stretch.
Yeah. And a lot of times people are like, I got such a good workout and I was just lying down for a lot of it,
That's why I like it.
So yeah, if you're someone who does that, I teach, again, and I did it right before we did this podcast, but I do teach a mat Pilates class myself through an organization called Magnolia House. It's part of Tower Cancer Research Foundation, which is a great nonprofit organization that hosts a lot of classes on Zoom. Some are in person, and it's free classes basically for people who are either going through cancer treatment or have had cancer in the past too.
And is that just for people who are local, or how do you?
I mean, the great thing about it is because it's on Zoom, it's if you can get to it at that time, you can join the class.
Oh my gosh. So we'll definitely have to get information and put that in show notes. So
yeah, it's great. It's not, I do the Pilates part of it. I don't just do mat. There's also chair Pilates that I teach. So people may not be able to get down to the ground. You can do a lot of stuff in sitting and standing, and it is still like a great workout for people. But yeah, with that being said, like all levels can participate in Pilates. Again, you might just need to find your class. And I definitely get told that no matter what, like even the mat Pilates class is a huge workout.
Yeah.
Even just
some of those
stuff.
mat Pilates classes I would take at the gym, quite honestly, were almost too hard. Like I'm someone who like always overuses my neck. So if it was too much ab stuff, suddenly like my neck hurts, and like they can be intense for us.
Right. It also could be like, are you using your neck muscles in place?
Right.
Out of your core muscles?
Yeah. If they get tired, I go right into my neck. Yep.
And then that's also where you come in as a physical therapist, right? So it's like, let's analyze your core. Like, let's analyze how you're using your deep neck muscles and how your form is. So yeah, it all ties together.
Now, I texted you a while ago and said, May, what kind of weighted vest do you like?
Oh.
So I don't know if you remember, I was on a really big, like, I need a weighted vest. And now you told me this is the one my sister uses. So yeah. So I got what everyone Katie uses. But I kind of hate it now that I actually have one and I never use it. And then I did some research and it seems like it's not, I think I put it on a higher pedestal than it deserves. As Chris, we're talking about weighted vests now. We've moved on.
Oh God. Oh my God. I see people like walking up and down my street with the weighted vest.
Yeah.
I think it's good, but
yeah, I was just saying to May, like, I got one and I don't know, I think I put it on a higher pedestal than it should be on, like some of the things I was reading, because it's sort of unnatural the way like you would hold it and then the way you shift your body, and I don't know.
I feel like it's going to affect people's knees in the future, right? Like all that way. I don't know. I think there's better exercises, but that's just me, and I'm not a trained and licensed anything PT.
Research for it as well, but
okay,
that it's like where you put it, is it the way all front loaded, and then you're like putting more strain on your back more, so like can you do it more evenly, what percentage should be? So yeah, this can all be discussed. It's still like there's no quick fix that we talked about, so this shouldn't be like the only thing you're doing to help build bones and muscle mass too.
And speaking of bones, so we've a little bit touched on osteopenia.
Yeah,
is when we start
everything.
Yeah, that when we kind of start to lose our bone density because of menopause.
But you could reverse that osteopenia, right?
Yeah.
Because I did. I had it in my left. I had it in my left hip, and my doctor said it was because of the chemo. But yeah, then I had another test, and I'm like, it's gone. But I didn't do anything. So I don't know what would reverse that. Let me ask you two professionals.
Well, probably the fact that you got estrogen back was probably pretty helpful, since you mentioned, your hormones came back so that you could experience it all over again. But yeah, estrogen has such good bone protective qualities. Like it helps with the building of bone. It helps to decrease like the breaking down of bone. So that's, again, it all comes back to hormones and hormonal changes. Nutrition can help too. Weightlifting can help too. But yeah, we do tend to, our biggest area of bone loss is like between our 30s and 50s.
Mhm.
You know that you have the most bone mass you'll ever have at age 30?
Oh, really?
Really? I would have thought like 18 or.
No, no, you can. So basically, it peaks
Wow.
30, and then it does decrease from there. So the best thing you can do to be bone protective is to have been doing weightlifting or high impact activity, like as a kid, teenager, and
Yeah.
in
So I'm kind of missed. So that's done. Two things I wanted to mention. One is, have you seen the idea of adult tummy time on the internet at all? I actually posted something about this. It's just like the idea that as adults, we are so rounded in everything we do. We're on our phone, we're slouching, we're on the computer. So adult tummy time is like lying on your tummy, maybe putting your elbows underneath your shoulders so you're sort of propped up like a sphinx.
Right.
Cobra, yeah, Cobra in yoga, yeah. And just sort of hanging out like that for a little bit. Because we want to strengthen those upper back muscles. So as we are aging, we don't want to turn into that like hunched over teeny, like older. Like we want our posture muscles. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds great.
right?
Yeah. If you, it's like, as we know, like extension exercises are better for osteoporosis. You don't really want to do like deep flexion, deep rotation type of exercises. And getting back to your point of like Pilates too, or yoga, a lot of those exercises incorporate like a deep flexion plus rotation. So definitely being able to modify that, or telling your instructor that you have that.
And when they say flexion for our non-PT people, like flexion of the spine is like bending forward towards your toes, where extension is like bending backwards, arching your back.
Right. And you
So-
don't do like a deep extension either, like the deep back bends either. If you have osteoporosis, you can build, you want to build up to anything that way. But with that being said, even it just depends if you have like a lot of osteoporosis already, or you're already kind of like rounded forward. Maybe you're even just starting like lying on your stomach with like pillows underneath you.
Yeah.
And then little by little, you can take that pillow away so that you get to more neutral spine even. And then maybe from there, you're going into extension. So yeah,
that's great.
which stage you're in. But we can work with PTs. Like that's where it can come in handy to help determine maybe what
Where to start.
To start. Yeah. But definitely building up those muscles, building up posture, all good.
Now you guys are making me sit up straighter. I was in my yoga class a few weeks ago, and the instructor took, one of those long belts that you like stretch with? They're like those. She took that and wrapped it around. She told everyone to like wrap it around, and it like somehow, and then it ends up, you tie it in front of your stomach, but it's wrapped around your shoulders.
Okay.
And it like literally just put the shoulders back, and it felt so comfortable that I bought one on Amazon. And I like at my desk, sometimes I'll do that whole wrapping just to kind of be in that posture.
We had a coworker, May, I don't know if you were there, who loved that. Exactly what Chris is talking about.
Did you guys make fun of her?
For that.
I feel like there's Becky over there tying herself up again.
I don't remember that actually. You're gonna have to.
Yeah, I have this vision of the purple. We had that purple yoga strap. The thing,
You can play through the purple yoga strap. Yeah.
that is nice to bring the shoulders back. But I'm just gonna throw this out there right now. I don't know if it belongs here, but when we're talking about like good posture, if you think of our nipples, we don't ever want our nipples up to the ceiling, right? And so sometimes pulling our shoulders all the way back and down is a little bit too much. So we want the shoulders back, but we want the nipples just straight forward.
Yeah. A lot of times what happens is people then tend to overextend.
Exactly.
You see like lower back pain because now you're overextended. And if you just do that right now too, and like overextending your seat, arch your rib cage back, you'll start to feel that lower part of your spine tighten up too, because those muscles are now like crunched a little bit. So yeah, there's a fine line between there. And that's the issue with some of the posture vests that I see too. Like people are like overdoing it.
Yes. Yep.
Balance.
Before we let you go, May, we've been asking people, we want to know what's in your bag. We're nosy.
Oh, yeah.
Boobalicious. Is there anything in your bag?
Other people have been saying.
Well, you have to go listen to our episodes. But some people answer, I don't know, like my metaphorical bag has peace and blah, blah, blah. Or some people are like, this is the lip balm. I can't leave the house.
Yeah.
So
Just either your product you love or something that you're doing that's just really inspiring you and helping you.
telling everyone about,
Yeah.
Well, if I could, I would say like, I'm going to show you this bag too. It's
Great.
maybe not necessarily what's in the bag, but the bag itself. So I'm obsessed. This is a bag.
Ooh, cute.
A brand called Très Gelée. It was actually my friend Paige Muller created and designed, and this is her line.
wow.
What fabric is that, May?
Silicone.
That's what I thought.
Yes.
So cool.
Yeah. So it's it's a luxury silicone bag line. And
Wow.
it's kind of awesome in that like you can take it anywhere with you if you're afraid of like your makeup or anything getting like, wiping it or anything very clean, or it's very easy to clean as well. It comes in different colors, different styles. It's a lot of like, mix and match with the handles. So I'm pretty much living the bag itself right now.
I love
Where do people find that little cutie?
It's online. So again, I think it's pronounced Très Gelée, Tres.
Très chic.
Yes.
How do you spell the second part?
Gelee.
Gelee.
But there's different sizes of it too. So you can get like a small one if you're doing more of like, a bag that you're like going to go out with or whatever. Or like for me, it's like an everyday carrying bag, I'll be honest. And then they have like larger bags too that you can use if you're going to the beach or something like that, where it's going to get
perfect
dirty or sandy. And then you just like wipe it down and it's been great.
Oh, I love that. Because you just need them for like phone carriers and covers, but never a bag.
Yeah.
Bravo. I love the entrepreneurial new item.
Wraps and stuff like
Oh,
that.
cute.
But yeah, so it's been, and I would say like I am not a person who usually like carries a purse with me everywhere, but it's been so easy to carry that I can just like grab it and go. So I'd say,
It's a good mommy bag too for like baby stuff.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. Not like I have babies now, only my puppy. I could put Ozzy Osbourne in there.
Yeah.
I'll put him in there, puppy carrier. Well, May, thank you so much for coming. Wait, did you have anything else, Jenni?
I was just going to ask May, I know your Instagram, your socials are private, but people can find you at Magnolia, the Magnolia House website. Or
I can. I'll give you the link to that website if people want to like take any of the classes. They can sign up. And again, yes, you do not have to be located in Los Angeles for that.
Oh, great!
Amazing! Yay! Well,
Yay! So nice to talk to you.
Yeah, you guys too.
All right, take care.
Bye.
I'll see you later.
Thank you for joining us today on Boobalicious. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this with the breastie who needs it. And also, don't forget to support our sponsors. We donate a portion of the proceeds to a charity that supports cancer patients in need. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. Feel free to DM us on Boobalicious Pod. We welcome all questions and topic suggestions.
The conversations on Boobalicious are based on personal experiences and professional insight, but they are not intended to replace your medical advice. Always consult your doctor or licensed healthcare provider for medical guidance specific to your situation. We're here to support, not prescribe. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.